really short answer to this, and I can give you an extended one. The too long didn't read of this is that the world has a collateral problem at this point in time, and Bitcoin is the best form of collateral ever invented. My expectation is not only is it the best form of collateral, it is the best form of money ever invented. And we have those three functions of money being store of value, mean of exchange, and unit of account. The fact is that Bitcoin is the first time in history that you have one asset that is the dominant, the apex predator of all of those three functions of money at the same time, with the ability to be collateral. Now, all of a sudden, that completely redefines the space as far as how much wealth can be absorbed by Bitcoin. And this is where probably a better way of thinking about it is, what our friend Jeff Booth talks about, where he says it's impossible to value the future system from within the existing one. And this is where what I try to do is put a valuation framework around Bitcoin to highlight how absurd it's going to get very quickly. And the thinking and the rationale on, say, a $7 billion Bitcoin is quite simply, once people understand what this is and we have the bulk of it tied up in collateral and we don't have the need to sell it because we've got a functioning credit market on top of Bitcoin, then Bitcoin will facilitate the entire global trade because it's the best form of money ever invented. Now, I don't think it's important to do that in order for it to go 50 or 100x up from here, but if it's facilitating daily global trade, we have $6.3 trillion of daily global trade, and we only have 900 Bitcoin minted on the day. That gives us a $7 billion Bitcoin. If you divide 6.3 trillion by whatever's minted on the day, which is going to have to facilitate whatever the daily global trade is, then we get to a ridiculous number of $7 billion. And then this is where the numbers get exponential very quickly, is that is assuming that there's a static GDP number. So assuming no human growth moving forward. And then in addition to that, you have a halving period every 4 years where we're just about to go into one on the 20th of April, where 900 Bitcoins minted per day are going to drop to 450. And all of a sudden, it's not going to be a $7 billion Bitcoin. It's going to be a $14 billion Bitcoin, by a fair market value assumption of what I've laid out. And, don't get caught up in the number. No one cares about the number, but get caught up in the thinking about, well, if what I'm telling you is correct when it comes to, why it's the best asset, why it's the best form of money, why it's the best form of collateral, it only makes sense in a logical progression to think that these things will play out. Now, what I don't know is how long it's going to take to play out, but I'm pretty certain as long as Bitcoin keeps functioning, then that trajectory is certain.
$7 to $8 billion Bitcoin. Do we think that's going to happen? Time will tell. That's not going to happen next week, next month, next year. Could Bitcoin get very parabolic? Could it go to hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars? Yes. Billions? Well, we'll see. A major change in the global monetary railways would definitely need to be updated and changed, but we have a jam-packed video for you today. Getting straight into it. Before we get started, go ahead and check us out on our Patreon. Once again, we have this last seat available before this price goes up. Check us out, patreon.com/Bitcoin Bros. Getting straight into it, Stock Money Lizards is showing us what's to come for 2024. Looking at this chart, we see that we have this run up, then a minus 30% correction, and then another run up before we pass this neckline and have a blast off. This is Bitcoin's price action. And then continuation, have this run up, have a pullback, a 12% pullback this time before, then we run up ultimately to new all-time highs. And then look right here, run up, pullback with 17%. That's in the realm of 12 to 30% pullbacks. And now we've broken across this neckline and we're waiting for Bitcoin to take off. Once this rally rips, it could be off and to the races. And alt season is approaching us. Where are we at? This is right where we're at. We haven't seen that run up yet, but there's a narrative that has been killing the market, killing the game. AI, artificial intelligence. We're going to be looking at 3 tokens here right now. The first one is Ori chain. And what do we see? What do we anticipate with Ori chain? Let's make this a little bit bigger so we can take a look at this. So we've got the Gaussian channels. We got the 20 and 200 moving averages on here. We got to look on a lower time frame to be able to see them. Why do we want to see these moving averages? Because these are important moving averages to pay attention to. And we have our fib extensions. So pulling from the low to the high, Orion chain could be a massive winner. So some people pull to the wicks. Let's pull down to the candle bodies to make it a little bit more realistic, a little bit more accurate. So what do you see? We have this one leg, two leg. This could be the start of the third leg and how high this goes. But why do we have this technical target right here? The technical target going up to $227. And that's just simply because this right here is a resistance that's acted as support. And we have somewhat of, it's not the prettiest, but it could be a shoulder, a head, another shoulder, or you could have a big just W pattern right here. And the way you measure this is from this neckline to the bottom point. This takes us up to over that $200 target. So could that be what's in the cards for Orion in the short to midterm? That is a 10 to 15x from where we are right now. Is that the ultimate target? Potentially no. As you see, this could be the third leg. And let's get out our Elliott waves. And we have this, if this is wave 1, we could be in the midst of wave 3 playing out. Wave 3 may come up above this and then have this pullback, and we ultimately could go up even higher. Is this realistic? This would be 100x from where we are right now. Based on the market cap, based on all the metrics, Orion could be a sleeping giant. AIOZ. What do we see? What do we anticipate? This coin has been melting faces and has been ripping to the upside. Since September of last year, we've had a price appreciation of this token all the way up to the current time it's recording, a 8,000% gain. So there's been a lot of gains in this token. Is there more that can come? Right now, looking at the 20 and the 200, we see that they're a little bit extended, but this 20 has been acting as a pogo stick, and we've been forming bull flags. But zooming into the current price action, one thing to pay attention to, we see that we have this bull flag pattern that we could potentially be breaking down from now. Now, is this out there on possibility? Maybe, maybe not. Could this be redrawn to, try to make a little bit more sense for the bull flag pattern? Potentially, but if we break this previous wick low here around this 0.77 range, we could be getting a cool off. And could we come back down to this? That's a possibility. That'd be about a 53 to 50 cent range as far as AOIZ. But the technical target from this potential bull flag, what we can see in the short to midterm, not as much return gain on AIOZ because this, not as much gain return as we just showed you for Orion. Orion is a small cap. AIOZ is also a small to mid cap, but we also have already taken off. So look here, this could be a short-term 300% move if we go up to that $3.40 range. So that's still an appreciation, still an opportunity if you got some skin in the game. And a technical target for this, if you look at this major resistance level here, if we pull from the bottom of this to the neckline of this, right, this neckline is actually this resistance once, twice, broke through and retested it. So pull from the bottom, it looks like a huge cup and handle pattern that's playing out. So if we pull from the bottom of this and pull to the top and then just have our extension to the upside, how high could this go? This could take us up to roughly almost a $5 AIOZ, 484. Where we are right now, that's still a decent appreciation of 470% to the upside. So that definitely could be a play in the upcoming months. And then fet.ai, this is the most popular, one of the biggest narratives in the artificial intelligence space. Now look at this. Looking on the macro, looking at the Elliott waves, what do we see? Let's get our impulse waves, and we have wave 1. Wave 2 could be this ABC correction. Now wave 3 is what we're in the midst of. How high can this go? Let's take a look. We pull from the swing high to the swing low. The fib extension takes you up to the 8.25 range. So you see we have this inverse head and shoulders pattern that played out right here. And this technical target, where that's going to lead you to, is around the $11, $12 range. So that's a target we have to pay attention to. But looking at the third leg, we have leg 1, leg 2, leg 3. How high is leg 3 going to go? Could it go up to that $8 range before having a little bit of a cool off? And then that fifth leg, and this could be the third leg. And then we have a cool off, the fourth leg, and the ultimate peak. So this could be a massive play as well. You see this inverse head and shoulders pattern that's playing out, and this is definitely an opportunity. From where we are right now, where the technical targets are taking you to, how much gain is that? That's going to be a 300% gain if it meets the inverse head and shoulders pattern. So it's something to definitely pay attention to. 300% gain off fet.ai. It's a $12 fet.ai. Definitely a massive appreciation in the months to come. So are you in AI? Have you bought any AI tokens? This is what the Bitcoin Bros are looking at: fet.ai, AIOZ, and ORAI. ORAI being the biggest opportunity as we see it right now. And with that, that's all I have for you today. Once again, I'm Sean with the Bitcoin Bros. Before you leave, if you haven't checked us out on our Patreon, don't forget, this isn't going to last forever. This price will go up. And with that, that's all I have for you today. And I'm out.